G'day folks, how's it going? Welcome back to another adventure. Today we're back in logging country trying to find another hidden waterfall. So I hit a bit of a speed bump with this one already, about 3 k's away from where I want to be. So it's just a little bit windy at the moment and plenty of widowmakers floating around. Yeah, got to a point where forestries are replanting the cleared out sections. Promptly told to turn around. That's what I've done. Looks like this section I was hoping to get through is not clear. Yeah, I'm not getting through there. Back we go. Ah yes, the rare Jack Daniel's fruit. So I've just done a probably 500 metre walk for nothing. Blocked off at the end and had to walk back past the car, which you may have seen in the background there. Just going to try another track here. Hoping it leads down into the valley maybe. Might get a creek track or something that might lead me to where I want to go. Fingers crossed. Actually might be a way through here, so I'm just going to give it a quick go. You just got a nice old close-up of my noggin there. Pretty overgrown here, but I might clear out on the other side. Just having a look and trying my luck, although Lady Luck doesn't appear to be on my side today. But so I almost trip over the undergrowth. Let's see how we go. Getting through, but very slowly. Hoping it opens up at the just down the bottom here, so it makes it a bit easier. If I have to bush bash anymore, I'm probably going to call it quits and chalk it down to a failed adventure. So the wind just really picked up then, so I'm being super mindful of that, as there's supposed to be a storm coming through in the afternoon. Want to be out of here by that time, so getting to my destination is looking less and less likely. The bush bashing is quite excessive. So I'm just at the edge of the logging area now. I'll give you a look in a sec, but it has opened up a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked. Still pretty hard work. Being mindful of time and the weather that's coming in. If I feel like it's going to be all too much, I'll call it quits. So as it turns out, I got into a clearing. I can see the forestry dudes up on the hill there, so we'll see what they say. But I'll just keep on the lower track here, see how I go. It's a nice little gully down here, I'll give you a look. So we're headed back into overgrown track. I don't know how overgrown it is. My GPS keeps telling me I'm further and further away from my destination, which is not ideal given my time constraints and knowing the rain that's coming. So this is too overgrown. Back I go. I've hit a couple of thick patches. There's nothing thicker than the initial patch I went through earlier so far. See how we go. Not liking my chances, like I say, keeps telling me I'm further and further away from where I want to go. And all this hard work is not ideal. Just when I'm ready to call it quits, it just opens up again. This is a harsh mistress. Just come across the track where they've started to, or forestry, should I say, have planted some new, I'll wait till I'm finished talking there, have planted some new trees, so I'm being really mindful not to damage those, because that's a lot of hard work undone if I do. So I'm back on a clear logging road now. As you would have just seen, the young tree or the adolescent trees being planted, or saplings or whatever. I'm sure a horticulturist or someone will be able to tell me what they are. Don't judge me for it. Being really mindful that if there are any planted in the ground, I'm not squashing them or stepping on them. I can see why they wanted to keep people out of this area now, because they're in the middle of tracks and they'll just get crushed otherwise. I know this is not meant to be a walking track, but it's a challenge nonetheless. It's uneven, to say the least. Debris everywhere, and I'm clambering a lot. So I'm trying to make some headway while the track clears and relatively flattens out, or if you can call it that. There's obstacles around every corner. Spotted an ATV up on the ridge. Don't think he spotted me. Don't know what he would do if he did, because he has to get down here. Do not disturb, murky waters. As I said, obstacles around every corner. All patched up. That took a lot longer than I wanted it to, and I'm already pretty time conscious. Just had a quick look at the GPS. So as I'm coming up to the creek that the falls lie on, and the logging track is taking me on a very long-winded way, so I'm wondering if I can try and cut my trip short. Let's see how we go. Up or down? $1,000,000 question. Spoiler alert. Oh, I chose down. Mainly because that's what GPS told me to go. Just heard a rustling in the bushes. I'm sure it's just a roo. I'm making enough noise as it is, so I'm not surprised I'm not seeing any wildlife here. So I'm getting super wary of the time now. It's taking me a lot longer to get here than I thought it would. GPS is saying I'm still a fair way away. Sorry for the close-up. And if this creek doesn't offer a shortcut, it's going to be a failed attempt to get there. So fingers crossed it was not all for nothing. So I just ran into some lovely tree planters and just made sure it was okay for me to come through. They said, have no idea, if you're just going for a hike, that's fine. So got the tick of approval. I'm just on an unmarked trail at the moment, just hoping it gives me a a shortcut to where I want to go. One of them said it does lead down to the creek I'm looking for, so we're heading there now. Let's see how we go. So the unmarked trail is now not a trail at all. I do have somewhat of a marker here with the plants that have grown, so I'm just following that little trail, but it does indeed go to the creek that I wanted to go to. There's a fair amount of undergrowth here, so not sure how we're going to go. Let's find out. It's being such a tease. I can hear the water. I can't see a clear path through. I'm going to give it a red hot crack though. Well, as you may have guessed, I'm in the creek. The creek is pretty dry, so the odds of falls are against me, but actually not far away of where it's meant to be, so I'm going to give it another half hour, and if no go, we'll turn around. So I'm starting to think that the creek, following the creek, is not the way. It's pretty cluttered, fallen trees, mosquitoes everywhere. I can hear them. They're not that far away. I just can't get to them. So I've assessed the area, jumped up on a log, which I'm now struggling to get off because it's so slippery and I don't want to plummet to my death. I'm not going to be able to get there, unfortunately. It's just too much fallen debris and trees, and the creek bed is swampy as you would expect, and I'm still very mindful of the wet weather that's coming through and I want to get back in time. So pulling the pin on this one, but not for good. I will return one day. So failed attempt at finding forgotten waterfall number 2. A little bit disappointed. I think I've done it right given the time I had. I've actually gone well past the time I would have hoped for. I was hoping to drive up as close as possible. I reckon I've hiked probably 5k's to get to where I got, and once again dramatically close without getting to the desired destination. So as I was coming up, the friendly tree planters asked me if I got down there. I said yeah, I found the creek, but probably a couple of 100 meters away from the falls. I could literally hear them. Just couldn't get to them because there was so much undergrowth or overgrowth, or just sorry, I just had a coughing fit at the opportune time there. Just couldn't get to them. So much fallen trees and debris. The creek, while not full, was swampy, and you sunk in the mud. So that wasn't ideal. Sorry, I'm trying not to fall over this. Plenty of tractor grooves in this logging track, even though it hasn't been used for some time. So I'll probably come back when they're not planting trees and I can actually get through on the main tracks rather than having to hike old logging tracks, which are quite treacherous, as I almost trip over a branch then. I think it's better if I stop walking while I talk. That's about it for this one. Until next time, stay safe. Looking forward to the next adventure, and I'll see you out there.
The big wedge-tail eagle.